Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between and everything else. This is Smark and Soul with your boy Jack and my co-host
Samantha.
Welcome back, everybody. It is episode 3, and we have got a doozy for you today. We're back at Madison Square Garden, which is 3 of the 4 of our first episodes with where it's set. It's Royal Rumble 2000.
Yay. Yeah, we love New York, apparently.
We do love New York. I mean, it's the home of... I mean, it is the home of WWF at the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a magical place.
You know what? They always say that, don't they?
Yeah, but low-key, it's true. I do kind of agree that there is something special about like a Madison Square Garden show.
It is, yeah. It's, you know, if you've got a New York crowd, they're usually pretty raucous, they're usually pretty engaged, and they are, they're smart fans, aren't they?
Ain't no idiots.
They're smarks. No, they ain't no idiots.
You can't pull the wool over their eyes.
Royal Rumble 2000. We are a sold out 19,000, just over 19,000. Big old buy rate on pay-per-view of just under 600,000 for the first Rumble of the millennium, and the first Rumble held in MSG, and it's also the first WWF pay-per-view to air on terrestrial TV in the UK on Channel 4.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the Channel 4 era.
It is, yeah. This was the first one, and due to a segment that's coming up, they weren't too happy with the product that the WWF at the time were presenting.
I wonder what segment you could possibly mean.
Yeah. The stories that we've got going into this pay-per-view, I'd say we've probably got 3 main stories. The first one being surrounding the WWF title between Triple H and Cactus Jack, Mick Foley. This is the era where you've got the Stephanie McMahon and Triple H drive-through wedding and the sort of double swerve. Stephanie turns on Vince, and you've got a new power couple in play. It's the McMahon-Helmsley era. They're still with DX, and they're currently targeting the 2, I guess, biggest baby faces in the company in Mick Foley / Mankind / Dude Love / Cactus Jack and The Rock, the Rock and Sock connection. Mick Foley gets fired. The Rock demands he comes back. Triple H allows it. Then Foley requests a street fight at this pay-per-view for the title. And this feud had the famous SmackDown segment where Mick Foley is like, "You're not getting, the other guys," and he brings out his Cactus Jack persona, I guess in WWF for the first time, and Triple H, he fucking sells the life out of it. He's fucking terrified. I love that angle and that segment.
Yeah, it was really good because it's like you said, it fully kind of sells the idea that Cactus Jack is a completely separate entity to Mankind and Dude Love and just regular ass Mick Foley, that Triple H is now actually scared of this, and I thought they did a really good job with that, and in the match as well there's a lot of that. There
is, yeah, and we'll get to that. The next story I'd say is the Rumble match itself, and leading in we've got the 2 favorites, The Rock and the Big Show, and introduced as sort of a dark horse or a third favorite, so to speak, for the bettors out there. Kane was introduced as well as sort of the bookies' favourites. Those 3, there's really not much going on there. It's mostly just, I'm going to win the Rumble. No, I'm going to win the Rumble. You know, that kind of basic ass shit.
Yeah.
And then the other sort of feud and story we have is the Jericho and China co-champion storyline, and they are in a triple threat match on this card with Hardcore Holly for some fucking reason.
Oh my god.
Jericho
like you said,
Jericho,
we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it, but going into it, Jericho and China, they feuded back at the back end of 1999 over the IC title. I think something happened at Armageddon. I can't remember what. They exchanged it once or twice between each other, but then they sort of weirdly grew an unlikely partnership and then called themselves co-champions because they did a double pin, I think, on a Raw or SmackDown recently. And yeah, for some reason, Hardcore Holly's got thrown into the mix, and it's a triple threat.
Main event, Hardcore Holly.
So, Sam, what are your thoughts going into this event? You know, I've just set up the scene. What are your thoughts going in?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone remembers Rumble 2000 for that street fight and the end of the Rumble match being controversial. So I wasn't sure what to expect. My hopes were, I kind of had high hopes because the last MSG show we watched was Survivor Series, and that was really good. So I went into this kind of thinking, and it's around that same era. So I went into this kind of expecting a similar sort of show, and it was different. That's all I'll say for now.
It was different. So, I mean, without further ado, let's get to our first match. It's Kurt Angle. He is currently undefeated in the WWF. I think he's only been around for a few months. And
it's like 2-3 months.
We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it briefly in one of our other episodes, but I mean, he picked it up within a few weeks, and he's just one of the guys that immediately picked it up, got the business, and he is just pretty much a ready-made star already. He cuts a heel generic promo, as a lot of heels do in MSG shows, about sports teams and whatnot. I don't fucking get American sports, mate. I don't know what he's saying, but the crowd are booing him, and he's doing his heel heat work, and he's really good at being a condescending dickhead, basically, isn't he?
Yes.
And we get the debut of Tazz with an extra Z in his name.
Huge.
Obviously, the ECW great, and he is now in the WWF. They knew he was coming anyway. They were chanting. They were chanting his name before his entrance.
Chanting,
but yeah. But I mean, obviously, you still had the dirt sheets back then. They obviously picked up on it, and like we said, New York fans are smart fans. They're smarks, aren't they? So they're going to do that. The match starts, and it's just over 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes and 16 seconds of just suplexes, basically, and then Tazz chokes out Kurt Angle to end his undefeated run. Yeah, just a lot. There's a top rope suplex at one point. There's also a suplex where there's a bit of an over rotation with Kurt, or an under rotation. I can't remember, but he basically almost face plants the ring, and I think that got Vince pretty mad at Tazz.
It was sold beautifully though by Angle.
It was
like it looked really good. So I don't know why Vince was pissed, because Angle landed safely and it looked really good. Do you think maybe that was Tazz burying himself there, and that's why we got the Tazz run in WWF that we got?
Yes, probably. I mean, if you're going to be suplexed by anyone, you might as well be suplexed by the suplex machine, who's done it more than anyone else in the world, most likely at that point.
There's like 3 people that you want to be suplexed by. It's Tazz, it's Lesnar, and it's probably Angle as well. Those are the 3 people that I would trust the most. If I was to take a suplex, I'm taking it off one of those 3.
Exactly. Yeah. But in this match, Angle gets choked out by the Tazz mission. Commentary keep mentioning that it might be an illegal chokehold, and Tazz has said in interviews, I can't remember when it was, but he said that he knew nothing about that angle, that it was going to be like an illegal angle and stuff, and he just wanted to walk to the back and just be a bit of a New York badass. And obviously you got that across in the imagery, but you had commentary talking about an illegal choke.
Yeah, and I think that kind of like sullied the moment as well, because I understand that like maybe it kind of keeps Kurt looking somewhat strong, that yes, he's lost the undefeated streak, but was it an illegal maneuver? But it's like, how many times have we seen a sleeper hold? And it gets it didn't look much more gruesome than a chin lock. Let's be honest. But yeah, they bring Tazz in. He looked in fantastic shape, by the way. He looked really good. It's easy after watching One Night Stand to think that that's kind of what Tazz looks like, but when you actually see him in his prime, like how good he looked. And yeah, they really dropped the ball with this guy.
What did you rate the match?
I went 2.5.
I went for 2.
Yeah, I thought there was some good wrestling in it. Some beautiful suplexes. I just didn't like that whole is the Tazz mission illegal storyline. And then it was also like, was it a squash match? Was it not? Because it was kind of competitive, but kind of not.
Well,
so
that brings me on to my rebooking segment, Sam, if you'd like to hear how I'd do it.
Yes, my favorite thing every week. Let's go.
So my rebooking is for this match and for the preceding weeks after Royal Rumble and to WrestleMania to sort of build up Tazz as a bit of a threat because, like you said, they fucking dropped the ball with him, didn't they? Mm-hmm. So my idea is it's like the tap heard around the world. So we keep the debut. We keep the short match, that's fine. Maybe give him a couple more minutes, I don't know. But we just changed the finish. So instead of passing out, Kurt Angle taps out frantically. He's fucking panicking and stuff. And then you can have Tazz standing over him, like a bit like a fresh new blood fucking dude that's just like an assassin that's just come in and fucked up a gold medalist. And then you can have Angle because he's got these comedic chops and he understands the wrestling business and the selling part of it. You can have him fucking rolling around the ring, sobbing, clutching his neck and shit. And then Tazz leaves MSG as the human suplex machine. He's just fucking suplexed the shit out of your gold medalist. He's left him there. And Kurt ends up leaving with, his undefeated streak gone and a pretty shattered ego. So over the next couple of months after the Royal Rumble, Kurt keeps bringing out experts to like review tape footage from the match. And he claims that his hand was just spasming due to a central like nerve strike from Tazz. And he was just like, it's fucking illegal. It's illegal. And he's just like, I want my undefeated streak like reinstated. And he's just obsessed with the idea that he didn't tap out. To reclaim his dignity, he demands a submission match at WrestleMania 2000 against Tazz. So in the weeks leading up to it, you can have fucking Rocky style training vignettes because right now he's not really established that he could be a submission specialist. He's not got the ankle lock. And I had an idea that he could be in like a college gym training with these college kids, and he's just got one of them in the ankle lock and he's screaming at this college kid who's crying, going like, do you tap? I never tapped. Just fucking going mental.
His kind of slow descent into madness.
Exactly. And I would also in the build to Mania, because you've got to build through No Way Out and stuff with this angle, I would also have him because he's gone for this submission match at Mania. He's got to train up. He carries a placard with a submission counter with him in his entrances, and the counter just racks up every time he like beats a jobber on SmackDown or in a dark match or something, and he keeps adding to his tally on his sign. And obviously you've got that's doing all the heavy lifting. Tazz doesn't need to do a promo. He's not the greatest talker in terms of, in kayfabe as a wrestler. And then, you could just have him being a bit menacing in the background, stalking Kurt. He could just like leave his like the sleeveless t-shirts around in Kurt's locker room just to scare him, that sort of thing. So that's my idea anyway. I
like it. So
yeah.
Do you, in the meantime, then do you have Tazz kind of just work through sort of like the mid-card guys and continue the whole submission machine?
You could even have him get involved with like the Jericho and China shit, because that just ended up as a triple threat with Angle at Mania 2000 for both European and IC titles. So you could have Tazz in there mixing it up with them, and then they just have the submission match with Angle. It could even be for a title. That could be for the European title or something. Like, I don't care. Yeah,
and then you put a title on Tazz early enough, like the European title. That's a mid card title. That's not you're not putting the rocket on him, but you're saying like, hey, this guy he's going to be kind of an upper mid card guy for the next few years for us. But instead, he got into a feud with Jerry Lawler.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I really like that. That's good. I enjoy.
Thank you very much.
You incorporated Kurt's comedic element, but also you didn't make it just like a comedy feud. You keep Taz enough away from it while still being in it that he doesn't get tarred with the same brush that now he's like a comedy guy as well. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Exactly.
I like it.
There we go. Match 2 now, moving swiftly on. We've got the tag team tables match between the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. How do we feel moving into this one, Sam?
I love the letter Z. That's how I feel. Obviously, Dudley's, Hardy's, weapons, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, they bring out chairs and ladders and obviously tables in this one. It's sort of a little bit of a precursor to the original TLC, which is later on in this year.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
And it's the first ever tag team table match. Both team members must be put through tables for elimination. There's no confusion there. They get that out of the way quickly. Bubba Ray Dudley, for some reason, even though I think he's from New York, he cuts another heel fucking sports team promo on the crowd, I guess. Probably something about baseball, I think.
I don't remember.
Cool,
yeah,
that's fine.
I don't think it was about the New York Red Bulls, so it definitely wasn't an MLS reference. Yeah, so it was probably baseball. I don't know.
The match starts pretty quickly. Both teams are bringing a lot of energy. They're both sort of, I guess, in their prime and young and upcoming enough. We get a big Bubba bomb, tables being brought out and then moved away and then brought back in. Chair shot to the head after chair shot to the head. Fucking unprotected chair shots in this pay-per-view. Table thrown to Jeff midair. He loves that spot in a tables match, doesn't he? Jeff just fucking.
He didn't botch it this time either. Like he did it properly.
Exactly.
I was impressed. Well done, Jeff.
Devon and Matt take turns trying to pick one another up and put each other through the table, but there's no success. Devon grabs hold of a guy's face in the crowd to balance himself when they're on a ladder just
I
by
saw
the,
that.
out
That
by
was
the
so
crowd in
fucking
the entrance.
funny. He fully smushes the guy's face.
Bubba gets put through a setup table by Jeff in the entranceway. Matt and Jeff both put themselves through tables, but obviously I guess that doesn't count. Then a table gets set up between ring steps in the ring. Bubba powerbombs Matt from the middle rope. Bubba then gets fucking clocked in the head with probably the worst fucking unprotected chair shot of the night. Falls backwards off the ledge entrance and then into the tables. Just in terms of like optics, that's just fucking thwack and then into the tables. Fucking great.
There was, like you said, there was quite a few thwacks during this match. Holy shit. How different are things now where...
Oh, I know.
Like, you look at the ending of that Swerve Hangman cage match, which ended with Hangman popping the seat out of the chair over Swerve's head. A one chair shot to the head nowadays gets like a huge pop and then a hush over the crowd.
Exactly.
Whereas back like 02 and before, like this era, a chair shot to the head is just like, yeah.
Exactly. It's a transition spot.
Yeah, it's like a clothesline, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, Bubba's already been put through a table, so it doesn't even fucking matter. It's just a cool spot. Jeff takes his top off because, of course, he has to, and then he swanton bombs off the same ledge, puts Devon through the table, and gets the win for the Hardys in around 10 minutes or so. I thought this was a great match. Pretty brutal spots. Both teams are young, energetic. They're putting their bodies on the line. And yeah, it's another sort of catalyst for, I'd say it's a bit of a tag team revolution that they go through in the late 90s and early 2000s with these teams coming through. I give this one 3.5 out of 5. Oh,
I went lower than you this time. I went 3.25.
Did you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, I see.
It was it was a bit of like a car crash derby kind of match. I didn't think there was anything particularly groundbreaking about it, but maybe that's just because, since then we've had so many different things that, at the time that this was probably a little bit like, oh shit, they did that, I don't know. I don't have a fucking time machine. But yeah, it was fun. A couple of things to note. during this match. Teddy Long was the referee for this one.
Oh, he was indeed.
He was, yeah. I always find that so funny that he went from just being like mute referee to one-on-one with the Undertaker guy. And there's also another interesting thing here. There's two guys in the crowd who are playing Marco Polo with each other, but they're doing it with air horns.
Lovely.
So one guy's going, and then a second later you'll hear, and it goes on quite... There's a lot of air horns in this crowd and a lot of signs.
But you know what? That is the sign of... And I know they're not really engaged, I guess, are they? I just like the sound of a bustling fucking hot crowd,
yes.
You know, that low-level murmur of all that shit going on. And it makes it seem like it's an event. But nowadays, all you have is the fucking... Everyone has got their computer in their fucking hands and shit, and they're taking videos, and there's just no atmosphere now in events anymore, really.
Phone bad. Yeah, no, but I do agree. There is, yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, is that kind of low hum in the crowd of people. People are watching the match, they're talking to their friend beside them or whatever, being like, oh my God, did you see that? And whatever. And like, you've got everyone with all their signs.
That's what you and I do at shows.
Yes, we're like, holy shit, that spot. Or
we get into it.
Yes,
and then the people around us just look at us weirdly, and we're like, we're at a fucking show, man.
Yeah. I'll never forget that time that we went to that house show and we cheered for Rusev, and a little kid looked at us really upset because we thought we were being cool and smarky, but we were actually probably being extremely annoying.
Yeah, but the baby face in that match was fucking Kane.
It was, yeah, true.
So,
you know, history will show that we were on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, where even was I? Oh yeah, we've just finished match 2. So we're backstage now in the trainer's room with Kurt, and he's confused about whether he won or lost the match. And you know, you could see the seeds planted with my idea there.
Yes.
You know, the better idea than what actually happened. And then the illegal choke is mentioned, and he basically asks if he's still undefeated. And then we move on to the next segment, which I don't know if you want to keep it as brief as possible or if you want to really go in depth. But this next segment is the Miss Royal Rumble contest.
So I have some notes about the Miss Royal Rumble 2000 contest.
All right. Let me set it up and then we'll go into it.
Okay.
We've got our contestants are Ivory, Jacqueline, Terry, Barbara Bush, Luna Vachon, and the Cat. And our judges are Andy Richter, who is Conan O'Brien's friend, Sergeant Slaughter, Tony Gurria, Johnny Valiant, and Freddie Blassie, and Fabulous Moolah Boo. And then obviously you've got King of the Creeps, Jerry Lawler, as the host. Mm-hmm. And there we go. It's all set up for you, Sam.
So here's my notes on this one.
Let's go.
No, I skipped the segment because it included Jerry Lawler and women. So I have no idea what happened here. I saw Jerry Lawler come from behind the commentary booth, stand in the ring, and start introducing women. And I was like, what else is on this show? So I've got no idea what happened. I'm assuming some leery stuff, and they make quite a few references to Mae Young afterwards. So I'm assuming Mae Young made an appearance and did some weird stuff. Yeah.
I'll run through it quickly.
Sprint through
just because
this one,
it's
maybe.
It's a segment on the show.
Yeah.
Basically, each woman has to, I guess, show off a little bit. A couple of them are a bit hesitant to, but they all sort of give in and perform anyway. And then Mae Young comes out and wants to join in. It's prosthetics, but she legitimately gets her baps out. And then Mark Henry comes out because they're in that angle together, and he tries to cover her up. And the judges all rule unanimously in her favor to win. And this segment cost the WWF their relationship with Channel 4 in the UK. And the less said about this segment, the better. It's a total car crash, and it was like being stuck in a time machine going back the wrong way. So let's swiftly move on to Coach in Times Square, being mobbed by wrestling fans. So we're a little bit happier there. And there's nothing else. It's just Coach, and they're fucking animalistic, and they're all over him. And I fucking love it. Because nowadays, when they do those kinds of shots of fan zones and stuff, it's just mostly people sat down and being just polite with one another. But back in the early 2000s, in like some sort of like New York club, basically everyone just goes fucking ballistic. So I just like the atmosphere there. Then we transition to Madison Square Garden backstage with China and Jericho, and they're arguing about who is Intercontinental Champion. And we lead into that very match. It's the triple threat for the Intercontinental title, and it's Jericho versus China versus Hardcore Holly. And I've been doing a lot of talking, so over to you for a second, Sam.
Okay, take a voice rest. Yes, so on that backstage segment, Earl Hebner comes in, takes the belt off the two of them. Is like, okay, let me settle this. As he walks away, Chris Jericho is like calling after him, and he calls Earl Hebner Dave at one point. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's like a thing between them or whatever. But I just thought that was interesting. China looks like $1,000,000. Oh my God. Yeah. I adore this woman. She is fantastic. She is the blueprint for, like, forget your Divas Revolution that you have now, or, you know, that you had in 2015. China was the one that kickstarted it off way before. She should have been an even bigger star than she was, and she was a big star. Yeah. China, forever and always, will have deserved better. That's what I'm going to say about China. Love China, adore China. Oh, and also, I hate Hardcore Holly.
Well, we've got a triple threat match with two of those people and Chris Jericho. The control of the match sort of balances between all three. It's a relatively short match anyway. I've noted down that China does some backflips into an elbow into the corner. That move that people do that doesn't really make too much sense, but it's cool to look at. Jericho saves China from a chair shot from Holly to kind of, you know, feed into their co-champion narrative. You've got simultaneous top rope moves to Holly from the co-champs. You've got a low blow to Jericho from China, pedigree to Holly, kick out, and then for the finish, chair shots, walls of Jericho from China, bulldog, lion salt from Jericho for the win in 7 minutes 30. What are we rating this match, Sam, and what are your thoughts?
I went 1.75 on this one. There were some clunky spots, I think.
Yeah.
Like the splash where China and Jericho hit Holly at the same time, but Holly kind of, it's like a weird sort of half kick out that he does. There's also a complete no-sell of a superplex from Bob Holly to China, where he just like immediately tries to roll her up for a pin, gets a 2 count. I have also a theory about this, that obviously China takes the pin, even though Bob Holly's kind of the odd man out in this situation. Sermon plug, if you will. Why doesn't Bob Holly take the pin? I think I know why. I think Bob Holly doesn't want to take a pin from a woman because that will hurt his image, even though to be in the same ring as China in this era is a net positive for anybody, because all eyes were on China all the time. No matter what she was doing, people were watching China. If they found her hot or if they thought she was just cool or whatever, people were watching China matches. If you take a pin from China, I don't think it should be seen as like this, oh, I took a pin against a woman type shit. Like, China's a big star. China should have won this match. China should have been IC champion and held that belt for a while.
Yeah, no.
Because why not?
I fully agree. And I think you can almost guarantee that Hardcore Holly had that conversation backstage that you're referring to right there. You can see it happening. And I mean, it's a shame. I think, you know, a performer probably just got fragile masculinity get in the way of, you know, a better product. And you know, when you elevate everyone around you, everyone gets better anyway, that sort of thinking, instead of this myopic, you know, masculine like, he didn't fucking do anything, did he?
No, he had
like
who the fuck? I'm sorry, but who the fuck is Bob Holly compared to China? Bob Holly, you had a match against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble for some reason, and then you were in the Extreme Elimination Chamber match, and then you were Cody Rhodes' tag team partner when Cody Rhodes came in to the WWE. That's your highlight reel. That's what you are. You are known for being involved in better things for people, things that people went on and did better things from. You are just stuck there. China is better than you. China was better than you. China deserved better than you. I don't like Bob Holly. Not a fan of the man. Not a fan of Thurman Plug. Also, just a piece of shit person as well. All the hazing he did to people and like the tough enough stuff. Just not a good person.
We are backstage with The Rock and Michael Cole next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I didn't tell you my rating for the last match. It's 1.5 by the way.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
1.5, yeah. Very in line with yours, and I agree with like 99.9% of your points. So backstage with The Rock and Michael Cole for just, another sort of famous charismatic rock promo, you know, from back in the day. Everything he says in this era sounded cool. And, you know, Rock in this era was my fucking guy. You know, when I was, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 and watching back the pay-per-views from the last few years, I was like, this dude is my guy. He could have fucking read the New York phone book for all I care and I would have lapped it up. So, yeah, no, all good. And he promises he's going to win and, you know, all that good Rumble bollocks stuff.
Yeah, he says if he can get past Crash Holly and Headbanger Mosh, then he'll probably win the Rumble.
Yes.
Which, fair enough. But yeah, this was like... It was such a basic promo, like you said. It was just like I'm going to win the Rumble. But it's so good. It's dripping with charisma. And the entire... Like, it's the quietest you hear the crowd all night because they're just listening to everything this man says. And they're waiting for him to hit his catchphrases so that they can say the catchphrases along with him. It's insane how good it is.
He's super fucking over. Mm-hmm. And we will find out what happens to him in the Rumble later on. But first, we've got a tag title match for some reason. Because I for the longest time, I thought it was straight from Triple Threat to the Street Fight to the Rumble. But no, there's a tag team match that goes on for a few minutes that doesn't really matter. So you've got the New Age Outlaws, which is Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, versus the Acolytes, who are Farouk and Bradshaw. Road Dogg comes out and he does his spiel. He talking about over people. He's fucking over in this show. Jesus Christ. You know, both now and in the Rumble. You know, he has a good showing in the Rumble as well. In the match, we have a huge fucking clothesline from hell from Bradshaw to Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn sells it like he was fucking shot. That's the only cool sort of moment that I noted in the match. Billy Gunn pulls the ref out of the ring to save a pin. There's a ref bump. Bradshaw clatters into Gunn on the outside. Farouk hits the Dominator in the ring, but there's no ref. And then there's the 3 count, but then X-Pac interferes anyway, takes out Bradshaw. Farouk gets rid of X-Pac, but then Billy Gunn comes in with the famous Mr. Ass for the win.
Yeah, this was a letdown because the hype package that they showed before this match, like when they first announced it that it's the New Age Outlaws versus the Acolytes next, I'm like, I don't really care, but I'm gonna watch it because I've got to watch it for the podcast. But then they showed the hype package, and I was like, oh, you know what? This actually seems like a pretty intense feud. Like this, you know. And then you've got like the Acolytes are these 2 big, hard hitting guys, and then the New Age Outlaws are like the over cheeky babyface dudes, and it just never really got a chance to get going.
No, I mean, it's very short, isn't it?
Yeah. Billy Gunn, I'd like to make a couple of notes about Billy Gunn. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he is wearing a very visible black thong underneath his trunks.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember
yes,
that. Yeah.
And he's rocking a choker as well. It's giving clocky trans girl fashion, and I'm low-key here for it. And then during the match, Billy Gunn is standing on the apron, but his back is to hard cam, and I feel like his cheeks are just making intense eye contact with me the entire time. not out of preference, but I cannot take my eyes off them. But that's about all I have. I gave this one 1.5 stars.
I gave it a 1 just because just not a lot happened at all. The only thing of note for me was the huge clothesline and the big sell for that, and then that was it. Fuck it, there's nothing else to say about that. So let's move on to the street fight.
Let's go.
We got the street fight. Yeah. I need to talk about Triple H's theme for a second because this is my Triple H theme. Mm-hmm. My time will always be my Triple H theme. It's just like the thing is in this era when I was watching, but obviously a couple of years after this took place, Triple H was my heel and The Rock was my babyface, and Triple H was the fucking cocky jock heel, and with all the lighting, and he was just like too abrasive and out there. And I was just like, oh, you're just a cunt, but you're really cool. You're just you're just a cool cunt, man. And then The Rock was just like, holy shit, you can pull off those garish shirts and everything you say just oozes confidence and charisma and you're just cool as fuck. And we're missing that sort of thing from wrestling nowadays, but I just wanted to give a note on Triple H's theme, My Time, because it's just fucking good.
It's
really the theme that I associate him with.
It's very good. I mean, for me, it was like when I started watching in like 05, 06 kind of time. For me, it was like the Motorhead days. But whenever I go back to this kind of era of pay-per-views and My Time plays, I'm like, oh, this is really good. And it really suits his kind of cocky, like, I'm untouchable character that he has going on during the kind of McMahon-Helmsley era of like, yeah, it's my time now. Like, everyone else, you've had your chance, but now I'm in control and Reign of Terror is coming.
Cactus Jack looks up for it. He is like locked in. A bit of a, I wouldn't say subdued entrance, but just a very like straight lace, just like, wash, I'm fucking coming at you, Triple H.
He's ready to do business, yeah.
Yeah, he is. And business do they fucking do. So Triple H brings in a weapon, clocks Foley with the ring bell in the first few minutes. A chair is brought into play. There's another chair shot at some point. They go off into the crowd / designated weapon area. You know, the sort of grayed out area that you'd get in the games. They bring back a barbed wire bat to the ring with them. They're like a 2x4. It's Cactus Jack's weapon of choice.
Course, yeah.
They have a bit of a back and forth. Triple H maneuvers a low blow, steals the 2x4. Foley then steals it back. But then the Spanish announce team get it and they like try to hide it.
What the fuck was the deal with that?
I don't fucking know.
Stay out
I think
of
what
it.
the referee wanted it out of. Well, the thing with this match is for some reason the referee didn't want Cactus Jack to do anything at all with any weapons, even though it's a street fight. But the ref let a lot of shit go with Triple H. So there was, especially in the first few minutes of this street fight, there was a clear bias there. Anyway, the referee gives it to the Spanish announce table, who keep it hidden. But then Foley comes up and he just fucking smashes one of them, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, have it."
I think it was Carlos Cabrera, because I think that was the Carlos Cabrera Hugo Savinovich era. So I think it was Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah, the OGs.
Yeah, he fucks up Triple H with the 2x4, and that basically opens Triple H up. He's bleeding a lot there, to the point where even Vince got like worried, and he sent out a memo to the rest of the wrestlers for the Royal Rumble match. He was just like, we're not doing any blading or color because the MSG commission or the New York commission might have us out, because this match is a fucking bloodbath. It's a fucking crime scene, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's like the one thing that I noticed about this match kind of from the beginning is it's such a massive kind of tonal shift from the rest of the show. Like everything before this was kind of like, you know, you had the tables match. Yes, it's got weapons, but it was kind of like, it's quick, it's snappy movements, things like that. And then you've just kind of got like quick matches in between. You've got your comedy segments with Kurt Angle. Then this starts and it's like, oh, okay, things are real now. Like, this is very serious. These guys are about to kill each other. Like, but it was done well. Like it wasn't kind of it wasn't a neck breaking pace switch. Like it fit the match is what I'm saying.
We've got announce table shenanigans until there's a backdrop reversal through the table. We get the classic knee first into the steps spot for Foley, the thing that like has just fucked up his knees forever.
Yeah, he loves pulling those out like all the time, doesn't he?
He does. Triple H gets out some fucking handcuffs. And he handcuffs Cactus Jack, or he tries to. Oh no, he does. And Cactus Jack, he performs a drop toe hold because he doesn't have any fucking hands to do anything. They move towards the entrance area where we're going to have a little bit of a spot where Cactus Jack is aided by The Rock briefly. Completely fucking clatters Triple H with a chair, another unprotected chair shot. And then they get just a person acting like a cop to get Cactus Jack's handcuffs removed.
It was such a little drive-by chair shot as well.
Oh, I know, yeah.
It's just like, bonk, gone.
We get more announce table shenanigans, a pile driver onto the table from Foley to Triple H. Then Steph comes out to ringside. Mick gets the thumbtacks out, only to take a backdrop into them and then take a pedigree. And he fucking kicks out at 2. And the place comes unglued.
I
have
came
had a
unglued.
brutal fucking match. I know. It's such a good moment, that.
Yeah.
But, of course, Triple H pedigrees him again, but into the tacks that he was just backdropped onto, and then that's the finish. Triple H has retained the WWF title, and post-match was really good because Triple H sold it like he fucking died. He gets on a stretcher, but to sort of get his moment, Cactus Jack gets up, he runs to the entrance where Triple H is on the stretcher, getting stretchered back, and he fucks him up again with the 2x4. And you've got Cactus Jack standing tall even in defeat.
This was so good. The storytelling,
such a good match
in this match was amazing. Like you had this whole kind of section of the match where Triple H is trying kind of the most sadistic things that he can think of to Cactus Jack, and just nothing is phasing him. Cactus Jack is still coming at him. It's almost like kind of Jason Voorhees. Like he's unstoppable. He's like, This is Cactus Jack's like bread and butter. It's like, whatever you throw at me, I do not care, because you cannot kill me. You cannot finish me. This is my wheelhouse. At one point during this match, I was like, oh, things are moving a bit slow, and I immediately just told myself, like, don't watch this like a wrestling match, because this isn't to be watched like a wrestling match. This is two guys who just hate each other and are going to just brawl with each other and try and physically destroy each other. And as soon as I started looking at it through that sort of lens, it becomes so much better, because it makes sense with the pacing and everything like that. Like, Triple H doesn't win this match. Triple H just kind of, he survives the environment. It's so good. And it's something that I think is missing from matches like this in kind of modern day Fed. I think they're kind of the biggest culprits of it, where you'll have a Hell in a Cell match, and the next week on Raw, the guy shows up and he's maybe got a little plaster on his eyebrow or whatever.
Yeah.
When it shouldn't be like that. It should be that these guys have to be carried out of this match because they've put each other through so much. This was fantastic. I went 4.25 for this.
I went 4.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. I just thought, like, and I tend to think about these things in a wider story context as well as the actual just match and event in itself, because I group this match and the No Way Out Hell in a Cell match as the two matches that basically made Triple H who he was in the business, and just the spots and the storytelling between it all, and let's just forget a little bit about the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 2000 for now.
Yeah, we don't need
just
to.
The first couple of months of 2000, just fucking good. A fun little tidbit that Mick put in his autobiography. He said that Triple H was legitimately fucking terrified of the thumbtack spot, and he needed to basically talk him into doing it because Triple H had never done like a death match before or anything, and Foley's just like, first time, kid, I've done death matches in Japan and all sorts.
Look at my ear. Yeah. Also, another thing, Triple H gets that big gash on his leg that they kind of they focus on a little bit. Apparently, after the match, I don't know if you know this, Triple H went back to the locker room, and as he was kind of like taking off his gear and getting changed, whatever, he takes off the one boot fine. When he takes off the boot from the leg that has the gash in it, he said that it was significantly heavier because of the amount of blood that he lost and was in the bottom of the boot, that it was basically like taking off like a concrete boot, which is crazy. And I remember hearing that before going and watching this match, and then seeing that kind of spot happen and looking at it and being like, holy shit, that is a lot of blood that he loses from that leg. Like, he lost a lot of blood during this match.
He did. He wore the crimson mask. Anyway, what a fucking great match. What
Incredible.
An iconic match.
So good.
Yeah. We're back now in Times Square with the Coachman. For some reason, we're, a bit of respite before our main event Rumble match, I guess. And he's with Linda McMahon, and she basically sets the scene, I guess, for the McMahon in every corner match at WrestleMania. And, it's just a short segment, and that's about it.
Yeah, fantastic Secretary of Education, even better actor, Linda McMahon.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're on to the Rumble match now, Sam. I have got every entrant noted down and brief things of what happens. How do you want me to tackle this? Do you want me to motor my way through it?
I think so.
Do you want me to group it into tens?
I've got group it into sort of, because there's kind of sections of this match, isn't there, that tell different stories.
Yeah.
So I think if we go section by section, because I've just got like a paragraph kind of going through bits that I wanted to make points on. So take it away. D'Lo
Brown in at number 1, Grandmaster Sexay in at number 2. At number 3 comes out Headbanger Mosh, and he is wearing some green cone boob things. It is interesting. Not the first time in the night, but Kai and Tai, Taka Michinoku and Funaki come out and just get the shit beaten out of them and then get thrown out. Number 4 is Christian. Number 5 is Rikishi. Rikishi starts going through a bit of a tear here, and it's the first part of the Rumble where you're seeing a bit of a through line, and he's a pretty big threat. He eliminates everyone apart from Grandmaster Sexy. Scotty Too Hotty comes out at number 6, and the lights go down for Too Cool to Dance. Pretty cool, fun spot, but Rikishi throws both of them out at the same time, dances again on his own. Number 7 now, Steve Blackman, and he immediately gets thrown out. Number 8 is Viscera, so it's Big Man versus Big Man, but Rikishi gets rid of him with pretty much no fuss. Number 9 is Big Boss Man, who wisely stays out of the ring until number 10 comes out, and it's Test, who is having a bit of a mini feud with Big Boss Man, and he promptly beats the fuck out of him and puts him into the ring. How are we feeling on the first 10 entrants, Sam?
So, okay, I'll go through kind of my notes on what I have.
Sure.
First of all, something I'd forgotten about. D'Lo Brown's head shape is insane. He has a very tall but sloped head. That's all I have to say about D'Lo Brown. The Kai and Tai run-ins, I mean, I'll kind of summarize them later.
Yeah.
Love the dance break between Rikishi and Too Cool. I mean, that's kind of like an iconic Rumble moment, really, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah.
And the crowd loved it as well because, of course, it was a bit of fun for your lunchtime, nothing too serious. Big Boss Man, he does a great impression of a cop by being an absolute coward and refusing to get in the ring. There's also just like Lawler, while Mosh is in the ring wearing his cones. Lawler keeps making Mae Young references, and I'm like, is he into it? Is he a Mae Young fan? Actually, no. I think Mae Young's probably 70 years too old for Jerry Lawler's taste. Yeah, that's what I've got so far. So I guess we go with the next section.
Yeah, number 11 is the British Bulldog, and the ring starts to fill up again with Gangrel in at 12, and I love a bit of Gangrel.
Yeah.
Kai and Tai come out yet again, only to be thrown out yet again. And this is the spot, probably, a GIF and a video that you've all seen. Taka Michinoku face plants the floor at such a great velocity that he needs to be taken to the hospital. And Lawler latches onto this, and so starts the most targeted racial campaign from Jerry Lawler from the commentary desk for the rest of the Rumble. Yeah. And I mean, I'm laughing. It's not funny, but I'm laughing just because of how absurd it is.
It's ridiculous.
And just how accepted it was in the year 2000. He insists that the production replays the bump over and over and over again. And even though Taka Michinoku is Japanese, he keeps calling him Chinese. Yeah. So that's fun. Edge is now in at 13. Bob Backlund is in at 14 for the old school lovers. And then Rikishi is eventually thrown out in a joint effort by basically everyone in the ring at the moment. Then we have Jericho out at 15, who promptly chucks out Bob Backlund. Crash Holly comes out at 16, and then there's Chyna at 17. She eliminates Jericho, and they continue their little, mini feud about being the co-champion, even though they already had a match on this very card. And then in the distraction, Big Boss Man eliminates Chyna. I think that's probably the perfect man to do that elimination. He's just a bit of a bruiser, and he's like, yeah, fuck off, I'm fine with that. At 18 comes out Farouk, who is then beaten up by the Mean Street Posse and then eliminated by the Big Boss Man again. Fair enough, I guess. The Mean Street Posse and the Acolytes have a little bit of beef. Road Dogg then comes in at 19, and Al Snow comes in at 20. And in the meantime, Road Dogg eliminates the British Bulldog. How are we feeling about those next 10 entrants?
So I'm going to say I popped big for Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
The way he walks out there, his face... I'm not entirely convinced that Bob Backlund knows that wrestling is fake.
Oh no!
I think he went in and was like, "I'm going to win this thing. I am going to eliminate everybody else in here." I love Bob Backlund. I think he's great. I thought Chyna being eliminated by Big Boss Man, as you said, was quite fitting. Once again, kind of plays into his cop character of targeting women. Val Venus. I mean, yeah. Val Venus was there. He's in at 21. Yeah, we had another Kai and Tai interference. Like you said, with the way Jerry Lawler kind of revels in, I understand that like Jerry Lawler's character is that he's kind of like an idiot and likes to see things like this, but is it not a bit strange that one of your fellow professional wrestlers has just been like concussed to fuck and you're so giddy to rewatch it over and over again? And then there's that whole Chinese Japanese thing. I think at one point JR like snaps at him. He tells him to like stop being so xenophobic, and I don't think that was entirely in character. I think he genuinely at that point, because it was like towards the end of the match, I think, and I think at that point JR was genuinely probably just sick of what Lawler was saying. It's just like, oh, dude, shut up. Like, it's not funny. This whole, oh, he's Chinese. No, he's Japanese. Like, it's not a funny bit. It's annoying. That's what I have to say about that section of the match. Nice.
Yeah. We've got Val Venus in at 21. And then, like you said, Funaki comes out on his own without Taka Michinoku, and he just gets thrown out again. Prince Albert is out at 22, the very hairy man. And Jesus then Christ. Edge is eliminated by Al Snow. 23 is Hardcore Holly. So all three members of the Triple Threat Intercontinental match have entered the match, the Royal Rumble match. And then at number 24, it's the person everybody has been waiting for and business is about to pick up. It's The Rock.
This is the big one.
He immediately eliminates Boss Man. Really cool elimination. He just smacks the shit out of him, and then Boss Man sells like a boss, and it's great. Number 25 is Billy Gunn. The Rock eliminates Crash Holly. 26 is the Big Show, who then boots out Test and hurls out Gangrel. So we got a few eliminations by the big hitters come in. 27 is Bradshaw. Mean Street Posse come out again to distract, and then Bradshaw's eliminated by Big Show in just a few seconds. Then Farouk comes out to assist Bradshaw, and then the Mean Street Posse and the Acolytes brawl to the back. So that's fine. Oh no, sorry, he's not eliminated by Big Show. He's eliminated by the New Age Outlaws. Sorry, my bad.
Get it together.
Yeah, I know. Get it together, Jack. 28 is Kane. He promptly eliminates Val Venus. 29 is The Godfather, and he has some women along his side, and he runs around the ring with them, and he is the Godfather, and Lawler is creepy. During his entrance, Funaki sneaks out yet again and is thrown out yet again, but he lands outside and face up, sort of near where the women are standing with the Godfather, and Jerry Lawler says, "Oh, I bet he has a good view," and he does his fucking high-pitched giggle, and it just made me cringe because I can usually tune him out, and I had to tune in at that one moment. Number 30, the last entrant, is X-Pac. So we have all of our entrants in, Sam, and I will run through the last little bit of action before the winner. What are your thoughts on the next 10 entrants?
So, yeah, now is like, as you said, from 24 onwards, kind of, that's when business picks up. Like, you get The Rock comes in. I found it funny that when Kane enters, he immediately goes after Val Venus and eliminates him. And I think that just, it goes to show that the alt-right will always be at war with itself. And, yeah, this whole, what's the crack with this Kai and Tai thing? What's their end goal for this? Because there's no
I couldn't
members.
tell you.
No one from Kai and Tai is in the match, so it's not even like they're trying to soften up the other competitors so that their guy can win. They're just running in and being pests. They don't even. I don't even think they land a hit on anybody. I think,
they just get immediately chucked out.
Yeah,
again.
I think everyone is able to defeat them hitless. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I'm genuinely at a loss for words with this Kai and Tai carry on. So let's get to the end of the match.
Let's do it. 30 is X-Pac, and then in the preceding events, El Snow eliminates Hardcore Holly, Big Show eliminates The Godfather, The Rock eliminates El Snow, Billy Gunn eliminates Road Dogg, then Kane eliminates Billy Gunn. The New Age Outlaws, so Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, they both pull Kane out from under the ropes and start to lead him away. The refs are distracted by this, and they miss The Rock eliminating X-Pac. This is all happening at such a frenetic pace. They just push down the acceleration button as soon as X-Pac comes out, and everyone just starts flying out. But yeah, the refs miss The Rock eliminating X-Pac, who then comes back in. Kane comes back in as well. X-Pac with a really cool spinning kick elimination on Kane. Big Show eliminates X-Pac. So now we're down to our final two. It's The Rock and Big Show. It's the two favourites, and it's the two that have been the most confident moving into Royal Rumble. They go back and forth until Big Show chokeslams The Rock. Really cool looking chokeslam. And then he starts to carry The Rock over his shoulder. He's pointing at which area he's going to run to. Then he runs towards the ropes with The Rock over his shoulder. The Rock holds onto the rope. He does a bit of a Shawn Michaels in 1995, or attempts to. Both men's feet do hit the floor, but The Rock bounces back up with the ropes, and he's declared the winner. But it won't matter that much for WrestleMania because the Big Show's going to be in the match anyway.
Yeah, and a very awkward kind of final spot to try and pull off. I'm assuming that they must have practiced this spot beforehand, and it's just kind of on the day went tits up.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah, and it has kind of been... It's become an infamous spot, really, hasn't it? Because of 5 years later, you had that Batista John Cena incident where it was a botch, but they both somehow hit the floor at literally the exact same time.
Yeah.
Whereas this was meant to be that The Rock does, like you said, the Shawn Michaels 95 gimmick, fucks it up. And then I think, but didn't they incorporated that into the story, didn't they?
Yeah, into the angle, yeah. So in the weeks after this, Big Show gets like fan footage from ringside, and he's like forensically going in. He's just like, The Rock his feet hit before mine and stuff, and like there's freeze frames and stuff. They do turn it into a reasonably engaging story, to be fair. But yeah, the actual event itself, yeah, I don't know. It's obviously good to see the Rock announced as the winner and everything, but he picks up the microphone. He says, finally, The Rock's going to WrestleMania. But then the Big Show comes back out to get his heat, and yeah, he's just looking mad, and it's just like a bit of an anticlimax to the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, for such a big, no pun intended, for such a big show, for it to kind of go off the air with a bit of a weird, damp squib ending is like, oh, it's like this is meant to be kind of your second biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of that comes down to that botched finish at the end, that's sort of messed with people. I do think it's important, or not important, interesting, that in this kind of era, your top guys aren't necessarily able to go long in these matches. Like The Rock enters at 24, Big Show enters quite late as well, same with Kane. X-Pac obviously is number 30, whereas you look at, like, I went through kind of the Wikipedia, and I know Wikipedia can be inaccurate and whatever, but it's usually pretty good. The Iron Man for this match was Test, and he lasted 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Whereas,
yeah, I remember JR on commentary kept going like, Test has been in this match for so long, and like nowadays we have hour-long stints in the Rumble, and it's like no one bats an eyelid.
Gunther went 71 minutes like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And yes, that is the record, but like you do nowadays, you get a lot of like, you do have your kind of Iron Man that is able to tie the beginning of the Rumble to the end of the Rumble, so that it still kind of flows. Like maybe your second or third entrant stays in till sort of the final 5 or 6, and will be in there for 45 to 55 minutes. So it just, it made it feel a bit disjointed to me. Also, the star power just kind of wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, you had Austin and Undertaker were both out injured at this point, weren't they?
Which I get. But I think it makes for a point that back then you had everyone kind of, there was a distinction between your lower card guys, your mid card guys, your main eventers. And everyone was able to kind of get over in those sections, which was great and made for that people would pop when people's music played for the Rumble. But it just meant that you didn't have those kind of 5 or 6 guys at the top that everyone was sort of waiting to see, and that like it would get down to the final 4 as it is kind of nowadays, where anyone from the final 4 can win the Rumble. Whereas this was very much like it's either The Rock or it's Big Show, and it's probably going to be The Rock. Like
exactly.
It makes things a little less. It lowers the stakes a little bit, I think.
What did you rate the actual Rumble, Matt?
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 3.
You went a 3. I was quite bored by this Rumble. I was just kind of like, every time the countdown timer went off, it was like, oh, okay, there's Al Snow, or, there's Big Boss Man. Oh, there's British Bulldog in jeans. Like,
yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Obviously, I popped for Bob Backlund, but he's not going to go the distance. That's your little nostalgia pop.
I think my rating partly comes through rose-tinted glasses, because this was one of my favourite shows as a kid, and one of my favourite Rumbles of all time, up until probably my last watch just before the podcast, and I was like, oh shit, it's it's fine. But yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me a few years ago or when I was a kid, I'd be like, 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
but
2000 is amazing.
I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5, and it's probably a 2.5 out of 5, but that extra 0.5 percentage point, it's the nostalgia for me, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair though. Like I have matches in my head that I picture that are like 5-star classics, and I don't want to go back and watch them because I know I'll watch them.
Yeah.
This is dross. Why did I think this was good at any point? Shall I go through my best dressed and worst dressed of the night?
Please do. I've been waiting.
So my best dressed goes to China, obviously. Fantastic. She had like this kind of fishnetty but like pleather black thing going on with some really cool boots.
Lovely.
Worst dressed, any guesses?
Right, you didn't pay attention to the Diva contest, so it won't be one of those. Yeah. Is it Headbanger Mosh then?
It is, in fact, Headbanger Mosh, yeah, with his green waffle cone titties.
It's an odd choice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I get like that he's meant to be like a punk kind of weird guy, but you can be a punk and dress nicely.
Yes, you can.
Yes, Headbanger Mosh. No, sir. No. Did you go for an overall rating for this show?
I did. I went through it for a 3.5 out of 5 because of the saving grace being the street fight. It just completely elevated the whole show. Obviously, we talked about the rose-tinted glasses with the Rumble. That bumps it up a little bit. And I thought the tables match was pretty decent as well. And the crowd was good. Yeah, I think a 3.5 out of 5. I'm comfortable with that rating. What about you?
I went for a 2.5.
Yeah.
I finished watching this show and I was genuinely in a bad mood afterwards.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to put you through this.
I turned it off at the end and was like, please God, don't tell me that Jack thinks that this is a really good show, because
I did.
What the hell? I did. And I think I texted you afterwards and I was like, oh, I finished watching Rumble 2000. I have a lot of thoughts on this show. It was like, it was terrible. And even in the lead up to today, before recording, I was like, oh my God, I've got to talk about that fucking show.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I didn't realize, honestly. I was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite shows. But it just goes to show that you can mature and stuff, can't you? And I think it was still probably valuable for me to put this forward as a show for us to analyze.
I mean, it's a big show. Like there is iconic moments in this show. Like you have that infamous spot at the end, you have the street fight, you have the Miss Rumble competition, but yeah, I think for someone who, if you watch this as a kid and you don't know that there's better things out there, you're going to think that this is so fucking cool. So that's fair enough. Like I said, there's shows that I watched when I was younger. Like, I remember popping hard for John Cena versus Great Khali at Extreme Rules 2007.
There we go.
So, I think if we end up eventually reviewing this show, that I'm going to be like, Jack, I'm so sorry that I made you watch this.
Oh, how the turntables.
Yes, I'm a better person now. I promise. I don't watch things like this. But yeah, should we reveal what next week's show is? Or should
Yeah, I believe we're staying in New York, aren't we? So Sam, please reveal what the next show will be.
We are staying in New York. We're moving slightly. We're going to Brooklyn this time, though. No, and we will not be sleeping until this show. We are watching the original NXT TakeOver from the Barclays Center in 2015 in Brooklyn.
Oh.
That's... there's some heat on this show.
I am looking forward to this one.
So am I. I want to see how this has aged as well.
Yeah, I mean, 11 years. So yeah, let's fucking go. I've probably not seen it since it first came out.
I think I probably have watched here and there matches from it, but I don't think I've watched the show sort of start to finish since it aired. Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
Well, we'll see you guys next week for the latest edition of the Smart and Soul podcast. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.